You know, I'm a husband, and I'm a father, and I work a full-time job. I do get a day off in the middle of the week every once in a while, but I usually use that day to catch up on chores and get stuff done around the house. But right now, I just don't have the time between all of that to go riding as much as I would and improve on my skills as much as I would like to. And I don't want to miss out on spending time with them just to go ride more. So, what I think I want to do is take a little time and build a little tiny course in my backyard. Nothing big, nothing crazy, just maybe a drop and some jumps. Somewhere where I can improve my skills upon, but also still spend time in the backyard with my family while they're outside playing.
I have a little down ramp in my backyard, so kind of what I want to do here is just build just a little drop. Just a straight drop all the way to the end. Maybe a little peak on the end. I want to keep it between 12 and 18 feet and about 3 feet high. Whee! So it is time for a trip to Lowe's. Now I want to try and keep this as cheap as possible and use most of the supplies, but I did need some screws and I needed to pick up some wood. These are the 2-inch screws I like to use to attach like the 2x4s, and then some 4-inch screws for the longer boards. And this part was fun. I only ended up breaking 4 toes, so that was good. I didn't really need to buy that much wood. I had a lot laying around that I was trying to use. I had to get one 12-foot 4x4, one 6-foot 4x4, one, I believe it was a 16-foot 2x10, and then I got a few 2x4s just to have in case I needed them. I think I ended up getting like 5. And I wanted to keep this project as cheap as possible, and I think total between the screws and the wood, and then using the wood I already had around, I think I had about $80 total in building this, and then the ramp that we built at the end of the video. And then it's just digging a couple holes. I had to dig 2 holes for the end post that I use at the end of the drop, and then I wanted this to kind of sit as flush to the ground as possible. There were some mistakes made, and I definitely should have dug this a little bit deeper and then not had to build such a big transition out of dirt to get onto the thing. And now that the hard part's done, we get onto the easy stuff. Then we just set the posts in the ground. I did use a level to get them leveled up and then fill them with dirt. And I like to use these cheap Harbor Freight levels because then I can just tamp the dirt down before I fill them with the hole and really get them set in place. I did decide on a final length of 15 feet for this thing, and that's just simply because I already had 2 10-foot 2x10s. So I was able to get this 12-foot 2x10, cut it in half, and then cut off an extra 1 foot on the end here, which is what I did, to create what's called a scab piece, where if you have a board that you need to be too long, you have 2 shorter boards, put that right in the middle, screw them together. And next we're just going to set these in the hole where we need them. I measured it out to 3 feet. I did end up, after I had them screwed in at 3 feet, moving them down to 2 feet. 3 feet was way too aggressive, and I wanted this thing to just be usable and not terrifying. And then I just threw a 2x4 across the top and the bottom to get them at the distance I wanted to, and then it was time to cut some boards. I took a minute here laying them out. I did have some old boards and some new boards. I didn't just want them all laid out, all plain, so I took a couple minutes to kind of sort them and mix them up a little bit so there was a little bit of cool colors looking. And then it was time to get them all screwed into place.
Well, we're done. And in honor of all the trees that inevitably had to give their lives to this ramp, I think it's only proper that we honor them by giving them a name befitting of all they gave for us.
And that was it. There was nothing left to do but ride it. And this is what I wanted to show, is that progression. I started off, it was a little leery. It's tall. It was a little hard to get onto, so I have refined the run up a little bit to it. But I just wanted to get better. I wanted to have something to practice on. And it did get better and better and better as I got more used to it. And this is exactly what I wanted. I can grab my bike, I can walk in the backyard, and I can go ride for a little bit.
What are we gonna do with this leftover wood? I know, let's build a ramp.
If you remember back to geometry, a radius is half a circle's diameter. So how do we determine the radius of our jump? Well, the longer the radius, the more gradual the angle of the ramp. So for example, if we were building a ramp with a 3-foot height and a radius of 6 feet, we end up with an angle of 60 degrees. But if we build that same 3-foot ramp with a radius of 10 feet, we end up with an angle of 45 degrees for our ramp. In other words, a longer radius creates a flatter transition, leading to a longer, lower trajectory, while a smaller radius results in a steeper transition, providing more vertical lift. Since we will be using our portable ramp for just general jumping and not vertical tricks, I'm going to go for an 8-foot radius. To measure this out, we simply find a flat spot, grab an 8-foot string, or as I like to use, baling wire so it doesn't stretch, and trace this radius on our wood, stopping at a height of 2 feet, which is how tall I want this ramp to be to keep it small and portable. And after you get the one side you trace cut out, all you have to do is flip it, and then you have an exact mirror for the other side. And once I get these two sides cut out, all I do is screw some 2x4s between them to create our ramp. I just simply use the leftover pieces I had from building the backyard ramp to do this. And then once we had the frame built, all I did was take the scrap leftover pieces I had from cutting out the sides and screwed them on the top, and you've got yourself the ramp. It takes about 30 minutes. It costs about $30 worth of wood if you don't have any.
And that's it. With about $80 worth of wood and supplies, we were able to build our drop, and we had some wood left over to build the ramp. So I hope this helps out. Shows you that it's not that hard to do. I'm by no means a craftsman, and I was able to figure out how to do it. So pretty much anybody should. And with all that, I just want to say again, thanks for tuning in. I hope everybody maybe learned something. It's pretty simple to do. You don't have to be a master craftsman to build any of this stuff. It's all real simple. Good luck, everybody. Get out there and keep on riding.